We're drilling right now. We'll be putting out an updated resource and PEA once we complete that, probably in January. And we'll be in a very poised position to be telling the world of what we really do have and what's left there.
And welcome to the Assay TV. I am on site at 121 Mining Investment New York, and I am joined by Kimberly Ann, who is the founder, CEO, president, chair, and director of Lahontan Gold. So it's great to have you back.
Thank you. I love being here.
So let's start with a quick overview of Lahontan Gold, as always, for our viewers.
Yeah, Lahontan Gold is a really beautiful story. Our assets are in Nevada, the Walker Lane. Very straightforward story, to be clear. 4 assets in the Walker Lane, gold and silver. Our Santa Fe project is a past producer. We are simply going down the pathway to take it back into production. We've been in permitting for 2.5 years, which means we're really, really close to the finish line. And with the new Trump administration, a lot of fantastic things have been happening in that gold's now on the critical metal list. The timeline is getting even shorter and shorter for permitting. So who knows, we may be breaking ground sooner than we think. But what's great about what we have is it's a past producer. So we have a lot of known things happening there, in that we have infrastructure, we have water rights, we have 3 wells, we have substation, things that most people don't have. So very safe jurisdiction when you're trying to check things off your box of what you're comfortable with investing in. Nevada, top jurisdiction in the world, and all those other things that I just mentioned.
So you just mentioned the Santa Fe mine briefly there. So you had a PEA released. What were the highlights? What are the key takeaways that you'd like investors to be aware of?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the PEA we put out last December, I kind of been joking about it today at your conference, in that it feels like it's so old because we actually did all the numbers on it last May. So we did it at 1950 pit shells, constrained models, etc. Economics at 1950 gold, and now we're sitting at what, 3,400 and climbing. But that being said, right now it's an 8-year mine life within this document, 50 to 60,000 ounces per year, a very low cash cost, 34% IRR, $1 billion project, life of mine. That's where it sits right now. But what's important for people to understand is we're drilling right now. We'll be putting out an updated resource and PEA once we complete that, probably in January. And we'll be in a very poised position to be telling the world of what we really do have and what's left there.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
So you recently discovered some high-grade zones, the Bonanza and Big Horn, if that's correct. How do these discoveries impact your expansion plans and your future works?
So Bonanza and Big Horn, we actually discovered them early on in the project. But what's really important about the Walker Lane to understand, it's not like a Carlin trend. It's very structurally focused. So when different structures collide into each other, you hit these massive high-grade chutes. So underneath all of our pits, in the Big Horn specifically, these areas you're talking about, we hit, let's see, 5 meters of 110 grams gold with visible gold. And it's very exciting. They're in the sulfides, and we're not focused on them right now. But what's really exciting for people to understand about that is it just tells you how big the system is, the massive heat engine that's driving why we're finding so much mineralization. People ask me all the time, well, you have 2 million ounces right now. Is it going to grow? I'm like, it's going to continue to grow. I don't know how long this mine life is going to be. I mean, I think it's going to be 30 plus years because there's so much there. But obviously we need to do the homework to find it. We're just focused right now on getting it to production as fast as possible so that we can do it through our own cash flow.
So on the back of that then, you have submitted a notice of intent for additional drilling. What is the timeline here, and what is the next steps in the permitting process? What can we expect?
Great question. Permitting is a very complicated moving target for any company. But the notice of intent allows us to drill right now on what we're doing, the drill program that we've announced. But the plan of operation is actually the drilling permit for the project-wide, that we'll have that by the end of this year is what we're thinking right now. And then we don't even have to go back to do a notice of intent in the future to add to that. So not only do we have that, but then we are in parallel doing the mine permit so that we can break ground. And it's really crucial for people to understand this, because when you're going for a mine permit, there's so many studies. We call them the bugs and bunnies studies. You're looking for raptors. You're looking for pygmy rats, that I just learned what a pygmy rat was. But you're looking for all these things so that you're being environmentally friendly when you're going to go back into production. So we put the mine plan in the same footprint as the plan of operation so that we can keep it under 640 acres, which allows us to be certified as like an EA versus EIS. It just cuts off basically 9 to 12 months of our timeline. And then we can go for immediate expansion in the future, because we want to get into production as soon as possible. So they're going very well. We haven't had any hiccups. And in fact, since February, since everybody at the BLM is getting to know the new administration, we really have seen some pretty fantastic changes. So keep your fingers crossed. It's always the thing when people say, what is the riskiest thing? Well, it's the things that I can't control, and I can't control permitting except be present, go to meetings, and make sure we're all accountable for what we're trying to accomplish.
Very exciting. So let's look at where you are financially. So you've had a recent private placement which brought in some core investors. Do you want to share more about that and how?
Yeah, I really feel really lucky to have this last round. We just did 2.2 million Canadian, which is, we work in US dollars, so it's not a lot of money, but we are drilling right now, doing new metallurgical work, et cetera, et cetera. It's all designed to bring down the pit shells and add more resources. But, what was really exciting about this particular raise was we brought in a very big special client to me, Larry Lepard, who put in a 19.9 position over 1.8 million of this small raise. And he's fantastic. He's very knowledgeable. He's US based. I do think that we have a large US based shareholder base, but having him, having a voice in the US market is very important for us, because everybody wants to be in the States right now in mining, and having someone like him, very knowledgeable in our space, is really important. So very proud to have him as a shareholder. And we're using these dollars wisely. They're all on the ground right now.
Okay, good. So beyond Santa Fe, what else is going on in Nevada? And you're in the Walker Lane district, right? So what other projects are there?
Oh my gosh, there's so many projects going off. Borealis is down the street from us. They're busy as bees. It's a very busy district. I will say we have one of the largest land packages, I believe, in the district right now. Augusta's going up, our neighbor, 42 Gold. There's a lot going on, but I will say I think we're really poised for 2026 to be delivering great news with not only our Santa Fe, but our West Santa Fe asset that's an absolute lookalike to Santa Fe that's only 10, 13 kilometers away. So there's lots to do, and I love the fact that it's not a Carlin type project. I call it a Walker Lane, trend, because we get gold and silver, and in some areas it's higher silver than gold. So it's very interesting and exciting, and I think we all will agree that silver is going to be doing quite well for the next 5 years, along with gold. So I like having that in our portfolio.
Very exciting. So then, as always, to wrap up, what can our investors be looking out for from Lahontan Gold?
Well, there's a lot to look out for. We swapped out most of our board to reflect that we are serious about building this. So we have some fantastic new board members, mine builders, capital markets people. We will be raising about $100 million to build this next year. I think everybody probably knows I used to work for Waterton, so I know how to raise debt and funds for a project, non-dilutive dollars for our shareholders. But we have a lot of news flow on what we're doing right now between our drilling. We have 2 phases of drilling, metallurgical work, permitting till the end of the year, etc. So lots going on, and we are just every step of the way we're checking the boxes of what we need to get to production.
Okay, thank you for joining me. It's always great to see you, and I'm sure we'll see you very soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.